So Sony was the last presentation on Monday, and I won't be going over EA or Ubisoft. I'll be going over the big three only, because those are the ones that I really, really care about. Sony came out and they did their small, hey guys, what's going on? And they pointed that Kaz Hirai, who is now the CEO of Sony in general, was in the audience, which was nice. I was hoping he was going to come up and talk. They had a very interesting press conference. They showed off PlayStation Battle Royale, and it was the same stuff we've always seen, only they showed off some of the supers, I guess, because they haven't showed that off. But at the end of the game play footage, they announced two characters. Of course, Nathan Drake is in it, but a character that I did not expect to see in PlayStation Battle Royale. I thought it was going to be Solid Snake that they announced, but no, it was a Big Daddy. And I was absolutely freaking out. I was like, hell yes, because I'm such a huge fan of BioShock that the Big Daddy would be the last thing I would have expected to see in a Sony game. Granted that BioShock didn't even release on Sony's platform when it initially came out. It was an Xbox and PC exclusive at the time. And then it came out to PS3 about a year later. So it was kind of the last thing I was expecting, and I was ecstatic, and I can't wait to see what the Big Daddy can do. Now, also, they showed off that they've got big PlayStation Plus plans, and how everybody in the audience gets a free year, which is kind of nice, because as I've also noticed, Microsoft didn't give anything free, and neither did Nintendo give anything free to their respective crowds. So that was kind of nice to see, and they've got this huge sale going on right now with PlayStation Plus, and they announced how much money the people were saving using the service, and that was all fine and dandy. I didn't mind that. That was kind of cool with all the deals, and I'm almost convinced to get PlayStation Plus. Not quite there, but we're getting close. The other thing they went through was, they touched on again, they did the thing that I just complained about Microsoft doing. They showed off the multi-platform stuff. The only difference between this and yes, this was different than Microsoft, because all they did with Microsoft was say, we're getting it first. With Sony, they said, we're only getting this. But again, I don't care. I don't care if it's free DLC. I don't care if it's DLC exclusively I don't care. I'm interested in the game, not its free DLC or the DLC. Screw the DLC for a minute. So, they showed off Assassin's Creed 3, and they showed off, which Ubisoft just showed off, by the way, before Sony went on air, but they showed, the naval combat and kind of stuff like that. And then they showed off Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 looks amazing, but again, it's a multi-platform title. Let's get to the exclusive titles. That's what I want to see when it comes to the Big Three's press conferences. I want to know why I should own this console, and particularly a game that is available across all platforms doesn't interest me in the least and says I should own an Xbox, or I should own a PlayStation 3, or I should own a Wii U, or whatever. Doesn't convince me to buy something. I mean, when you look at my, and I'm going to go a little bit off topic. When I'm looking at my retro console collections, most of the games that I own for them are only available on that platform and are developed first party, some third party, but mostly first party, especially with the Nintendo 64. I think I own nothing but Nintendo games, with the exception of one game, with the exception of two games, No, 3 games, although one of them is technically a series exclusive, but it was done by a third-party developer, which was rare at the time, and that was Donkey Kong 64. But other than that, all my games are Nintendo-owned, Nintendo developed. Although it's often said that Nintendo owned Rare at one point. So, whether that is true, I do not know. But back to Sony. So they showed off that. And then after they showed the Assassin's Creed stuff, which was awesome, they went into this stupid Wonder Book crap. And the thing that really ticked me off about that was they announced this crap with J.K. Rowling. Who the hell in the gaming world cares about an author who wrote a stupid fucking book series called Harry Potter? That series was great up until book 4 came along, and then the series went to hell. Now, I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy Harry Potter 1, 2, and 3, because I did, but Harry Potter 4, 5, and 6, and 7 can kiss my ass, and that author can be thrown into a volcano and have her corpse pissed on from atop the volcano as her corpse is melting. Fuck J.K. Rowling, not impressed. Wonder Book, not a selling point, and is a stupid fucking idea. Also, I do not know who the hell Sony's new director of PlayStation is, because I've never even heard of him. I don't know why Jack Tretton isn't the head of that department now, because he sure deserves it, other than a guy that I've never heard of. But Wonder Book and the new head of Sony PlayStation aside, they then went on to show off God of War Ascension, and oh my god, the brutality is off the max this time. I mean, you're seeing brain matter and all this stuff, and it was just fantastic. I cannot wait for the game. And, you know, they ended the presentation with The Last of Us, and it ended with the shotgun blast to the face, blasting off the head. And it's nice to see Naughty Dog doing a rated M for mature title. I can't see this being rated T for teen, considering they say fuck in it. You know, they just showed off a guy getting his head blown off by a shotgun. So it was very nice to see. I found that the presentation overall was kind of missing something to me. I was like, you know, maybe a little bit of something, maybe a little bit of more Vita in there. I mean, they did announce PlayStation Battle Royale being cross-compatible between the PlayStation and 3 and PlayStation Vita. They did announce Assassin's Creed Liberation getting its own bundle and being cross-connected with Assassin's Creed 3. And that was all fine and dandy, but I felt that they were lacking some, you know, Sony brand developed Vita titles. Also, Beyond, the trailer for Beyond, which is what Sony actually started with, was fantastic. I cannot wait to pick up that game. Plus, Ellen Page is Canadian from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I may not be originally from Halifax, Nova Scotia, but I did live in Nova Scotia for about 9 years, so that's pretty friggin' sweet that they have Ellen Page in the game as the main character, it seems. So that's kind of awesome, and I hope it's more gameplay than Heavy Rain was, because Heavy Rain, great game, but kind of lacked in the gameplay department. It was more like an interactive movie type thing, but it was great nonetheless. I absolutely love Heavy Rain. But there was that kind of thing. Also, there was this rumor that Hideo Kojima was, you know, around Sony's press conference, and it's like, no Metal Gear. What's up with that? Also, no GTA 5 or anything, but again, that's multi-platform stuff, but it would have been nice to kind of see some GTA 5 stuff finally. Also, of course, Ken Levine already announced that Bioshock Infinite wasn't going to be there, so it would have kind of been nice to see some Vita footage of Infinite and so on and so forth. Overall, Sony had a much better conference than Microsoft did, but there were some disappointments in there. Stay tuned for my thoughts on Nintendo in the next video.